I see my comments.
Hello. It is another Thursday Night Live. We're glad you're here tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Come on.
Oh, here's Sayla.
Say hello. Say hello. Now, no. Don't just run away. Wait, stay here. Here, look, right here.
Oh.
There you go. Over here. Look. Hey, there's people up here.
She's gonna want to come over here.
Look. Oh. She has to get down because she can't eat it on my lap. Look at her. She's like dying to get off. Oh, sorry. I don't know why. I find that fun every week.
She always knows. She's been waiting so patiently.
So it's Thursday night. It's been a rough little patch here, hasn't it?
It has been a rough patch.
And,
I agree.
And so we want to do a show tonight that you can just sit back and relax and have sort of a nice, comfortable evening.
Fuzzy kind of evening.
Auntie Ida and Uncle Cal, we're gonna read you stories. We're gonna tell you nice. We're gonna tell you nice things. We're gonna go through some uplifting stories with you this week, and there'll be less interaction as a result, because it'll mostly just be us pushing some stories out. So, but
we want to hear back from you. Like if it triggers a thought from you, we want to hear your thoughts too.
Sure, but also you can just relax, put on your headphones or your earbuds or whatever, and just close your eyes and listen to
your voice change. You're like, listen to the melodic tones of Cal and Ida. Okay.
I do want to take a minute to recognize that Al's here, and our good friend Nancy Kunzel passed away this week, and our heart goes out to you, Al. We know that's a sad time for you, and but lovely lifetime memories. I have some great memories of Nancy, and we love her very much, and we love you. Thanks for coming by.
Yes.
Maybe some of the stories will fill you a little bit tonight as well. That's our hope for everybody.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So we have a bunch of stories. Ida and I have researched stories. We've actually been researching them for a few years now for this show. We've been collecting them and saving the very best that we could find, having this date on the calendar from the very beginning, ready to give you the best stories we have. So Ida has 4, I have 5, and actually have one after the break.
Oh,
and
super.
Ida's stories are better. They're more stories.
They're just no, they're not.
You bet, Al. Glad that you're here tonight. We're a family, and we
True.
have good times together, and we have hard times together. So we just hang on to each other. So off we go. I want to begin by we just did you do trick or treat this week? Did anybody come to your apartment?
I was. Can I just confess right now? I just turned off the lights. I didn't want. Ever since the bat got into my apartment, I just don't want to open my door at night.
Yeah, because the bat's going to come in.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And particularly on Halloween.
Really, they know. So I avoided them.
So it was a tough year because we have social distancing. We're trying to do Halloween with social distancing. Right. We didn't quite know what to do. You know what? I didn't set up all my videos.
Oh, and some of the postings aren't coming. Some of people's
they're just slow.
Comments
they'll come up.
No,
that's because they're probably posting it somewhere else, or it'll work out, Ida.
Okay. I just don't want to miss
just post
anybody.
What we get. Yeah, we might. If we missed your comments, we're sorry.
Okay.
We're going to do the best we can. So I am going to have to, during your stories, I'm going to have to do a little bit of jockeying around here. But this story,
okay.
This first story is actually not a story at all. We had social distancing that made trick-or-treating difficult, and in our family we weren't quite sure how to hand out candy, and Linda really took the responsibility for it. I didn't even do it. She sat at the door with the dog, and Sayla just sat and looked at the door waiting for the next person. Linda sat on the steps and handed out candy for people that came up, and but I've known people in the past who just take like a bowl, like they go out for the night, they just take a bowl of candy and set it out in front of their door,
right,
maybe with some decorations or something like that. And then people come and help themselves to it. And usually that works. Like usually people don't come and take handfuls, although occasionally you hear stories about people taking the whole bowl or whatever. But so a lot of people actually did that this year.
Just put the bowl out.
And let people. So I want to show you a Ring video of somebody's trick-or-treat bowl out in front of their door. Okay, so here it goes. So it's no words or sound. It's just going to be this 1 minute. It's 42-second video. Okay, here.
Okay.
Take a look at this. So there they are, and there's the bowl. Come up and get their candy. Right?
Mm-hmm. So far, so good.
Except the bowl's empty now. Oh.
Oh, look at that.
The kids from the neighborhood. They were neighbor, like a few doors down.
So they're replenishing it.
They just put them all in there.
Oh, how nice is that?
Isn't that a good one?
It is a good one. That is kind-hearted kids, really. When we were starting to do this, Cal was giving me an example of one that he had found, and I was sitting here crying when he was reading it to me. I'm the biggest softie that God ever put on the earth,
So for those of you, if
if
anybody's watching and is visually impaired, just what happened was a kid came up and took the last piece of candy, and then another kid came up and he looked in, and there was nothing left. So then he just turned around and walked back out. And then his friend came up and they stood out there and talked like just for a brief second, and then they turned around and they brought their candy bags up to the bowl and started reaching in and just putting their candy into the bowl.
That's sweet.
And then they it looks like they left maybe 20 or 30 pieces in the bowl.
That'll last a while.
So yeah, so they wanted they didn't want other people to have to come to the bowl and have it be empty.
Well, that's really nice.
Quite a good one, isn't it?
It is. I think mine might be better. Just kidding. So mine is about kindness at the car wash. So says, we're just a car wash, so we have to assume that this customer who's moving away wrote notes like this to multiple local businesses, and she also brought donuts. And the note said, thanks for taking such good care of our cars over the past couple of years. We could always count on you to ensure our cars were clean inside and out. We're going to miss you guys and your hospitality. Thanks again. P.S. Great work during the pandemic. And to me, I know that sounds like such a small thing, but it's such an easy thing for people to do. Just a simple thank you goes a very long way. So that one touched my heart. I also have a little story because I decided after the last I forget how many years ago. It was many years ago because I was still in college. And I was setting the Thanksgiving table. And I was putting the knife, then the spoon, then the fork on the other side. And I was wondering how I remembered how to do that.
Yeah.
So I remembered who taught me that. It was my brownie leaders when I was a brownie. So I sat down that night and wrote thank you notes to all my brownie and Girl Scout leaders. And you would have thought I gave them each $1 million because I remembered their names. I remembered what they taught me, and it meant a lot. So I never take a thank you note lightly at all. So thank you, and thank you for being here too.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, that's my first one.
Well, thanks, Ida.
You're welcome.
All right, so moving on. My dog is whining in the background, so we'll see if she gets managed or if she just starts to bark. So there was a couple in Australia. These stories are, we've searched the world over. We've traveled basically all over the world to speak with people.
Okay. You may have.
So there was a couple in Australia, and they bought a caravan, which is a type of a camper.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
It's
like an RV.
It's a small pull behind camper. They might have them. They might have. Maybe they have engines. Some of them have engines too, but most of them are just sort of a smaller, budget sort of camper trailer. And it was small, but it had a lot of features, including a main bed and a bunk bed in it. So it was a good, it was really crammed in, but it was a good, good size one. When they went on their first trip, they found a note, and so I wanna show you all the note. they found this note in the caravan. That's not the one I was expecting. Here we go. And I'll read it to you. But
Okay.
there's a picture of the inside of the caravan for you. So since it's sort of small, maybe you can't see it. But here's what it says. It says, "Hi, my name is Poppy, and I'm 10 years old. This used to be our caravan, and we traveled half of Australia in it. This was my bed, the top bunk, and it was very good. This drawer, which is where you found this letter, was where I kept all my special things that I couldn't leave behind when we went traveling. I hope that you enjoy this caravan very much. I'm in grade 5 and I'm very good at art. I have a message for you. Follow your dreams, and if you have the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind.
Oh.
Enjoy this caravan."
10 years old. Okay. Somebody did something very right with that child.
And see, she left her bracelet
Oh.
there with the note in the drawer. So
I love it.
so anyway, so that's the caravan note story from Australia.
Okay. Well, I have another one somewhere. It's called Looking Ahead. When I was a young boy, our whole family lived in my Nana's old house right beside a set of railroad tracks. I can remember the whole house would shake when the trains rolled by. These trains hauling coal cars were few and far between. However, so often I spent my summer afternoons walking down the tracks. I can remember the first time I tried to balance myself and walk on a single rail. The steel rails were very narrow and quite slippery, so I didn't have much success. First, I tried holding my arms out and watching my feet as I walked. They only led me to wobbling and falling after a few steps. I decided to walk backwards once, but quickly slipped off and skinned my ankle on the rail. It was only when I started looking ahead, down the length of the railroad tracks, that I was able to walk the rails. Keeping my eyes forward, I put one foot in front of the other, and I was soon walking with ease. Looking back on this time, I now realize that it also gave me a wonderful Looking back on this time, I now realize that it also gave me a wonderful lesson about living. You can't go through life watching and fretting about every step you take or choice you make. This only leads to second-guessing yourself, and you soon go off the rails. Looking behind you is even worse. With your eyes on the past, you can't see the way ahead. You can only stand still and stay stuck in your regrets. It's only when you look ahead that you can really move forward. It is only when you look ahead that you can see the life you want to lead, the love you want to share, and the light you want to shine. Then each step you take and choice you make is filled with love, and you'll walk on with a light heart. We need all to keep our eyes forward. We all need to look ahead with love. We all need to see with our hearts the life we want to live. We all need to take each other's hands and walk the path of love together, knowing that God is by our side with each step we take. So yeah, that one touched my heart too, because I do believe that you can learn your lessons in the simple things in life, like walking on the railroad tracks, and it's true. If you look down and take small steps, you're not gonna be able to balance. But if you look ahead and look for the future, that's where it's at.
So much good advice this show.
I'm telling you, we're full of it, aren't we? Good advice.
We're full of it. I don't know. I don't know if I can take it all in.
I know, it's so much.
All right. So I want to show you, tell you a WIC baby story.
A WIC?
Yeah. Do you know WIC?
Women, Infants, and Children.
Yeah, women. It's a U.S. Department of Agricultural program where. Let me see here. I wrote, it's a food and nutrition service for the Department of Agriculture that they provide for, and it's women, infants, and children, WIC, to provide it. And I looked it up, and it says the WIC program aims to safeguard the health of low-income women, infants, and children up to age 5 who are at nutrition risk by providing nutritious foods to supplement diets, information on healthy eating, and referrals to healthcare. So that's what they do. One of the WIC participants posted a picture on Reddit with a brief message about it. So here, I'll read it to you. So here's the picture, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I found this in a can of formula I opened today, she wrote. I picked it up with Wick about a week ago and opened 4 cans in the bunch before this one. Thank you, kind stranger. It is truly needed and appreciated.
Oh. That is so sweet.
Isn't that neat? It's a $20 bill.
It's a great idea, too. Like when you're taking things
that somebody
to the food
put
bank.
inside the little plastic cover that goes over the part that you peel back when you vacuum, the vacuum sealed part. Mm-hmm. So somebody just peeled it back full of $20 idea in there.
I love that idea.
So how about the next one, Ida?
Okay, this one's called Identity. And it's written by a twin, but this could be by any sibling, really. I shared my identity with a twin. Until about 9 years old, my name was Twinny, and so was hers. My name was frequently her name when someone thought I was her, usually followed by, oh, wrong one. Every once in a while, I was called my name. Someone would look at me, and lo and behold, would see me. But I knew how difficult it was for my siblings, friends, and teachers to correctly identify us. Once in a movie theater, I had a nice chat with my twin sister, only to be tapped on one shoulder by a friend and to be told I was like a talking wall-size mirror. To look identical to another person and to sound exactly the same, however, is not to be identical. We each have a heart that burns within us whenever we love deeply or grieve desperately. We have eyes that twinkle in laughter, arms that rush to hold those who are weaker, knees that bend in gratitude. But no two people do any of that the same way. Each person touches another in a spectacular and unique way, and each grows stronger in that meeting. I've always treasured the gift of being seen and recognized, and I want to give that gift to every person I meet. So simple. So thinking about uniquely the same and how we are all the same, but we are all unique. I loved that story. So, identity.
Yeah, that's fun.
Thanks.
I've got some twins in my family.
Yes, you do.
As it turns out.
It turns out you do.
All right, I've got another visual only story for you. Just like the first one where we just watched the video of the Halloween.
David says, relatable.
Yeah. This is another one. It's another visual only story. So give this one a watch and see what you think about it. It's called Troubles. Let's see if I wrote anything. When troubles come, it's tough to be alone. That's my title of this story. Here we go. Looks like beans or something.
I was going to say, what is that he's scooping up? Lots of goodness in this world, isn't there?
Isn't that fun? And they cleaned up all the beans. But it wasn't just one friend.
No, it's like
It was
just
a whole
bunch
group of people from all over the place.
And maybe even strangers that just were driving by.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
A couple of them stopped their cars.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're off. Bye. Have fun.
There you go. Oh, that's a short but sweet one too. It doesn't take much. Just kindness.
Yeah, that's fun. Oh, Kristen mentioned that she has twins.
Yeah, she has twins too. So yeah.
All right, how about another story? This one you told me is called Kind of Cool. I haven't heard any of these stories, so.
Okay, mine is, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to think that someone somewhere is having the best day of their life today. Someone's hearing I love you for the first time today. Someone's going to get the job of their dreams today. Someone received some kind of good news today. Tomorrow it could be your best day ever. So keep going. So there's light at the end of the tunnel, but we need to celebrate when other people have good times too. So
yeah, our days are, just because we're having really bad days doesn't mean everybody is.
that's right.
That's a good one. Another short one, but kind of cool one. So we just have one more left. Is that right? Have you done all yours?
I did. I've done my 4. You know, I found more that I could have read, but I had to narrow it down.
So have you ever used Uber?
I've not used Uber, but my niece Laura was an Uber driver for a while.
Oh. Well, I've used it a couple of times. I have Uber on my phone, so I'm ready to use it anytime I want, but I have a car, so I don't usually use it. But I've used it in other towns a couple of times, and I think I would prefer it to a taxi because you have a different feel. So, I mean, lots of taxi drivers are friendly, but you definitely, when you get in a taxi, you get the idea they're business people doing their taxi business. And Uber people are driving their own cars, and taxi people you really are too, but it feels like their own car. It's
more personable.
A different kind of car shows up, and it feels more like a friend giving you a ride somewhere, in my opinion, than it does.
Well, yeah, I think it would.
A taxi. And so anyway, this is so recently in New Hampshire, an Uber driver recorded a video to show that Uber drivers listen. So here's the video.
Okay.
I think I have sound on this one. Hopefully it'll work. Oh, I have sound, which means I've got to bring our microphone down. So here it is. Hopefully this sound will come across. Oops. Rewind that a little bit. Okay, here we go.
Hello? Hi, Diane.
Hi.
You remember me, Diane?
Yes, I think so, honey. Right now I don't know. I probably do.
Diane, so this morning I gave you an Uber ride to work.
Oh, yes.
And we had a conversation earlier.
Yes, we did.
And you said that you was waiting for Christmas so that you can get house shoes and some other stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you don't got to wait till Christmas. Okay? So I bought you a dress.
Oh, my God.
Here's the dress.
Oh, thank you
Because you
so
said
much,
you needed
honey.
something to wear to church. Those are probably the people behind me.
Okay.
But that's your dress so you can wear it to church.
Oh,
If
you're
you-
so sweet.
If you don't like it, the gift receipt is in there. It's from Old Navy. And then here's a $50 Visa gift card. So
Oh
you
my
can take
God.
that and get your house shoes and your robe when it's time, okay?
Thank you so much. This has been such a horrible day. You just made my whole day so much better.
You're
Thank
very,
you.
very
This was such a horrible day.
And it just took. Well, that was a pretty big act of kindness, but
Yeah.
the Uber driver would have to remember where she worked, what her name. She remembered her name.
Yeah.
She remembered the conversation. So I think as important as and as special as giving that gift was, so is listening. She listened to that lady.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It wasn't just somebody just getting along and taking the story and saying, I'll pray for you.
Right.
I like to think she said, I'll pray for you. And then she brought her these gifts.
Yeah.
So
That's really sweet.
But I like that about Uber. You do get the sense people are listening, and that was cool. So that was posted on this Uber driver's Instagram. She would post some of her, interesting Uber conversations and things.
Yeah, I can't imagine that you'd make lots of money as a Uber driver. So she really went
Yeah, that
above
was
and
something.
beyond. Yeah, that's really cool.
She must have really gotten the story.
I'm sure that you all have touching stories that you could share too. That kind of brighten your heart when you hear them. That's what we wanted to do tonight. We wanted to there's so much ugly news out there and controversy and whatever it is, there's a lot of depressing stuff out there. So we just wanted to take a few minutes and do something uplifting.
Yeah. So anyway, I know that we have lots of kind people who do these things. I've heard stories from people in our midst,
Yeah.
and we could have maybe just made a set of stories from the people that are watching.
True.
But I didn't want to embarrass you. I thought so. So we're going to continue on with the show, and after we close out the YouTube show and we continue on to Facebook, I have one more story that I'll tell. It's about Monstro the goldfish.
Monstro the goldfish?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to. That'll be in the
you
second
have to stick
part
with
of the
it.
show. Yeah.
And there's more part.
That's right. But we have some even better things. I mean, we've had a lot of like inspirational things already, Ida. So now you're going to have to step up your game. To yet another inspirational saying. How are we going to? How are you even going to?
I don't know, but I just happen to have.
In the midst of all these things.
You know I do.
So let's move to your.
Right. So as I said, we hear a lot of ugly news right now, and a lot of controversy, and a lot of things that are depressing, and so this quote came to mind, and I wanted to share it with you all tonight. We must never stop believing that beautiful things can happen, even in times of chaos. And what more can you say? There's beautiful things out there, regardless of the ugly things that are happening. There's still beautiful things there. And I wanted to share, too, that the photo that goes with that saying is from our friend Andrea Duncan, who is so kind and generous to share her photos so we can have something beautiful as a backdrop for our saying. So thank you, Andrea,
that's
for that,
neat.
too.
That's one of those multi-flower gardens, like that. I forget what they call it, but just like flower gardens. I've actually tried to plant those a couple of times and never been successful in making that.
That's from a town called in Carlinville, Illinois, and they are a bee city. So they're trying to do their best to encourage bees to repopulate. And so they have these flower gardens that are specifically to attract bees and butterflies for pollination. And she's got a whole gallery of those photos. She
caught at least one butterfly in there.
Sure
I didn't look closely to see if there were bees flying around too.
I have some close-up of bees and stuff that she's taken, but anyway, beautiful picture.
So she goes there a lot for a number of her pictures are taken from there.
Yes, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the joke.
Linda says someone ahead of her at Chick-fil-A paid her bill. Many things were happening at the time, and it was a tremendous gift. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
It's sweet when people do things like that. I need to remember to do stuff like that more often.
Yeah, there's actually, when you look online for these kind of stories, there's a lot of those paying the bill stories for people, for like young families and young people. You often read about like a group of young people that are out, and I don't think I really think about it that young people are often, financially strapped, and and when they go out, it's a tougher deal for them.
Right.
And so anyway, let's go on with the joke of the week. Our jokester of the week.
Who is our jokester this week?
Is Richard Finn.
Oh, cool.
I don't think he's ever been our joker.
He has not, I don't think.
And so Richard has the joke, and we actually got not only the picture but also the joke from Richard, so that genuinely Richard's joke.
I'm trying to do better about that, if finding jokes that match up the individual.
I know, it keeps you from constantly blaming me.
So
we're not putting words in his mouth. These are actually his words in his mouth. Well, we're putting his words in his mouth, but we're making him stand by his word.
There you go.
He's there holding his grandchild, which we decided to sort of...
Oh, yes, well.
Yeah, not really show.
Yeah.
And his lovely wife next to him. So here's Richard's joke. Let's see here. Most people think that T-Rexes can't clap because they have short arms. That's a common meme.
Yeah.
But really, something else. It's because they are dead.
I like that one. Oh, thank you, Richard, for the laugh.
Oh, Ida, I forgot.
Yes.
I got us cigars to tell our stories by.
What?
We could have smoked a cigar and had a nice. I got you one too.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
What do you do with those?
So I don't know. Maybe we can smoke it afterwards.
Right.
In the second half of the show. after the break.
Ew.
See, read it though.
What does it
That's not just your average cigar there.
It's not.
No, where's it from?
It says, oh, it's from Cuba.
Yeah, that is a Cuban cigar.
Oh, well, you should save it for posterity.
I'll save the part that you don't smoke.
Okay, there you go. That should be a pretty large part.
All right, it's time to say goodbye to our YouTube friends. As I've mentioned a couple of times, we are going to continue with others, but for those who are watching on YouTube, we got to say goodbye to you now. There is a recommend if you're watching the video not live, but you're watching it after we've recorded it. We've recommended another video that you could watch over there, and it'll pop up here in a second. I know it's not there yet, but it will be. And then down below, there's some other links and things that you can look at if you want to see
pointing
more.
around, whatever.
If you want to see videos. Anyway, we're glad you stopped by.
Yes,
we
are.
always like to close with, I'm uniquely the same. You're uniquely the same. Together, we could change the world. We close with that because we think it's true. See you next time.
Bye. They're not going to get to see